If you have the original engine in your classic truck, then you should be running an engine oil with a high zinc content. But if you're not doing that, then stick around for today's video so I can teach you why it's important to do so. Before we discuss what is a high zinc oil or why it's important, we're going to talk about what we actually have here in front of us today. So this is driven race oil. Now driven race oil is going to be perfect for your classic truck or classic car because it has a high zinc content. Not only do they have a high zinc content engine oil, but they also do have a Breakin Oil, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now let's get into what is a high zinc oil and why is it important. You see, it's especially important for our older cars because they have a flat tappet lifter versus our modern cars, which actually has a roller lifter. And if you're unsure of what both of those are, I actually have both of them in front of me so we can show you exactly what each of them do. So to start it off, this is a lifter out of a more modern vehicle. As you can see, you kind of have this ball here in the center, and this is what we call a roller lifter. Essentially, you can see that it rolls here, and when it's on the actual camshaft itself, it will roll, and this will actually cause less friction. As opposed to your flat tappet lifter, which has no roller on the end. So when this is sitting on the camshaft, it's actually going to create more friction, and that more friction can end up building a higher pressure buildup, which will result in excessive wear on the engine. So by using a high quality oil with a high zinc content in it, you can actually prevent this excessive wear from happening. See, zinc, when it gets hot, it'll decompose, and that chemical reaction will create a film over the metal surfaces. So in return, this will reduce the friction inside the engine, which in all will actually reduce any excessive wear from happening. So if you have something with a flat tappet lifter, then go ahead and pick up some high zinc oil to be able to prevent any of that excessive wear from happening. Now you know why the driven racing oil with a high zinc content is important and how it works. Let's move on to their Breakin Oil. Breakin Oil is like insurance for a new crate engine or even a completely rebuilt engine. Or even if you just replaced your cylinder head, I'd say go ahead and run it on some Breakin Oil at first. And the main reason is because Driven's Breakin Oil is engineered to reduce accelerated wear on new parts by providing a protection for any of the internal parts that touch the Breakin Oil. The Breakin Oil is a petroleum base with a high zinc additive that will adhere to your camshafts and lifters while limiting friction without a friction modifier. Now this is super important for the flat tappet setup, but still important for all other engines as well. Now if you are going to run Breakin Oil, make sure to keep this in for only about 500 miles. Breakin Oil does not work the same as a regular oil, so you don't want to keep this in there for the same amount of time. The driven racing oil is a great quality oil for your classic truck or classic car, and you can find multiple different viscosities on our website at cjponyparts.com. If you have a classic truck or classic car and you've been using an oil that doesn't have a high zinc content in it, then think about picking this up for your next oil change. Now it's time to drop a gear and disappear. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, if you need any classic truck parts, just click the link down below in our description.